Welcome to Open Campus Soft Skills Course, Module 5, Part 2, Attendance in the Workplace. In this module, you will learn about time away from the job and how to improve attendance. As a recap from our last module, what is attendance? Attendance is being present at the workplace and available to perform job duties. The key areas of attendance in the workplace include time on the job and time away from the job. For the purposes of this module, we will focus on time away from the job. When we talk about time away from the job, we are referring to vacation and leave time as specific areas of discussion. Vacation time is a period of time that's devoted to pleasure, rest, or relaxation, and it's mainly granted with pay. It's important to note that the Fair Labor Standards Act does not require payment for time that's not worked when you're away from the job. Usually your vacation time and leave time is all a part of your benefits package that's between the employer as well as the employee. When we look at leave time is a period of time away from one's primary job while maintaining the status of employee. This can be paid or unpaid, and leave time can consist of personal time, sick time, as well as military leave. A helpful resource is the U.S. Department of Labor by going to www.dol.gov to stay up to date on many of the federal regulations and rules regarding workplace issues. Time away from the job also consists of lunch and breaks. Lunch is considered a period of time during the workday that's usually between 30 minutes to an hour to have a regularly scheduled meal. That means that your lunchtime is usually kind of set where you know exactly what part of the day that you will be taking this dedicated time for lunch. Your break time is a short period of time during the workday that's usually between 5 to 20 minutes, giving you an opportunity to rest. It's important also to note the resource for the U.S. Department of Labor for specific details and any changes with regards to lunch and the federal rules and regulations for lunch and break periods. Now, here are some time tips when we're dealing with time away from the job. Submit requests in writing and well in advance. This is important, especially when you are giving vacation time or having vacation time that you're wanting to take, or if there is an extended period of leave time that you know that's coming up. It's always best to submit this request in writing and to give sufficient advance to be able to make adjustments in scheduling. Second is to begin and end as scheduled. That means from your lunch break to your scheduled mini breaks, to your vacation time or leave. If you can help make things go a lot smoother in the workplace, if you begin and end those dedicated periods of time as planned. Also, alert your supervisor if you need to change your schedule, because this is just a matter of courtesy and respect, because if there needs to be a change in your schedule, that's going to impact the whole workplace environment. Other coworkers or someone will have to adjust their schedules to be able to accommodate yours. So alert the supervisors immediately if you need to change your schedule. Also, be proactive. If you see that there needs to be a schedule change, take the initiative and talk with a close coworker about possibly making a change or a switch in time that you all can swap schedules. And that way, when you alert the supervisor, you can make the suggestion that you've already talked to one of your coworkers. So it's okay to be proactive. In fact, it shows initiative. That's not always something that you can take advantage of or to use in the workplace, but it's a good practice to always think ahead and how you can make the work environment run a lot smoother with your changes in schedule. Also, create a to-do list to take care of personal tasks. When you are away from the job or when you are on your lunch breaks, you can always maximize your time. So by putting out a list of things that you need to take care of, that's a great way to utilize that time during your lunch breaks or even in your vacation or leave time. Next is how to improve attendance. There's always an opportunity to excel, to build upon, to grow and develop in areas of workplace attendance. And one of the things that you can do is to acknowledge your challenges with time and become aware of the time needed to be on time. When you acknowledge your challenges with time, you're simply saying, I see that I have a problem with arriving promptly and being punctual in the workplace. And I recognize that this tardiness or excessive tardiness or absences impact my quality of work as well as the quality of work in the environment. And when you become aware of the time that's needed, what that means is simply making an honest assessment about how much time it takes for you to get ready, to leave home, and to safely arrive to work. Oftentimes, statistics show that we tend to underestimate our time by 30%. So it's always good to be able to just become aware and make an honest assessment of your time and the actual time that you need. Also, review the company's handbook about the policies on attendance, absentees, as well as vacations. And that will be a dead ringer way for you to improve attendance because you have it in black and white. You have the words right there in front of you as a friendly reminder or a friendly review about your company's policies. And third, keep track of your time on and off of the job. You can improve your attendance by being aware of how much vacation time you have for the year. How many times this month have you been late to work? How many times have you had to call in unexpectedly? If you are able to log and keep just tabs on this information, then you can be able to zero in the gaps and find ways to correct that particular behavior, find ways to correct those challenges and those issues so that you can have stellar or strive for outstanding attendance in the workplace. Also, get plenty of rest, at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Be accountable. One way to improve your attendance is to join a carpool. If you see that it's kind of hard for you to get out the door or to possibly catch the bus if you're on public transportation, or even better yet, partner with a coworker who has good attendance and find a way to work with them to be able to get to work. But the most important thing is that you become accountable for your actions, and when you become accountable, you would want to strive to do better and to increase your attendance at work. And lastly, plan ahead. Plan ahead the day before. Be sure to set your alarm clock. Set it 15 to 30 minutes early. If you need to go an hour early, do so. Whatever is needed to support you in improving your punctuality and your promptness and your overall attendance at work. Be aware of delays. If there are weather delays or traffic delays that you've heard about over the radio, over the news, that's something that you can adjust by knowing, okay, there's a traffic jam, there's a car accident, I need to take a different route to work, or I need to leave home 30 minutes earlier than usual because of the weather. And then be sure to review your next day's schedule. Know what your calendar is going to look like. Know what your appointments are and the time that you have dedicated for each of those appointments. By having that review in advance, that kind of gives you a nice snapshot of your workday and of what is required of you and when you need to show up and shine. Next, you will have your Quiz 5 for attendance in the workplace for Module 5, Parts 1 and 2.